Ghana imposes 7 levies and 5 margins on petroleum products. The levies are the Energy Debt Recovery Levy, Energy Fund Levy, Energy Sector Recovery Levy, Price Stabilization and Recovery Levy, Road Fund Levy, Sanitation and Pollution Levy, and Special Petroleum Tax Levy, which all make up a sum of 2 Ghana cedis. The 49 Peswa Energy Debt Recovery Levy was introduced to accumulate funds to help clear the mountain debt that had the capacity to collapse the entire sector. Years after, the levy is still charged, but many lament the lack of accountability associated with the collection and utilization of the levy. The 20 Peswa Energy Sector Recovery Levy was introduced to pay energy sector bills. After a period of collection, however, the proceeds have been collateralized under the ESLA PLC, a special purpose vehicle incorporated as a public limited liability company to issue long-term bonds to resolve energy sector debts due to banks and trade creditors. The 14 Peswa Price Stabilization and Recovery Levy serves as a buffer to cushion petroleum consumers when there are external shocks to the pricing regime for fuel. The 48 Peswa Road Fund Levy supports the construction of roads and other activities in the sector, whilst the 10 Peswa Sanitation and Pollution Levy is accumulated to deal with the challenges of waste disposal and the provision of modern landfill sites, among others. Analysts like the Executive Secretary of the Chamber of Petroleum Consumers, Duncan Amwa, have criticized the imposition of some of these taxes on petroleum products, arguing that they ultimately are regressive and unduly burden the poor. But these taxes imposed by the government on fuel prices are a major source of revenue, and the government is not ready to let them go anytime soon. In making a little compromise, the government suspended the Price Stabilization and Recovery Levy on petrol, diesel and LPG from November 2021 to the end of January 2022 to cushion consumers in the face of global price hikes. Also in March this year, a 15 Peswa reduction was announced after the government tinkered with the price margins on fuel. But despite these interventions, the cost of fuel at the pumps still remains high. President Akufo-Addo, speaking during this year's May Day parade on Sunday, dismissed calls on the government to reduce taxes on petroleum products, describing it as an unsustainable move to make. According to him, the government risks losing about 4 billion Ghana cedis if it makes any such move. Duncan Amwa, reacting to this development, believes the government rather stands to lose should the cost of fuel continue to rise.
The response that the government or the president gave is one that needs further scrutiny and assessment. It cannot be the case that fuel prices would only affect the people. Fuel prices also affect the government and the state itself. Anytime petrol prices go up, the state would pay more or spend more at the end of the accounting year because the state does not run an OMP and is also buying from the same market that the people buy from. So when petrol prices move from 5 cedis to 10 cedis and you double it, know that the security agencies, the police consumption, all the other security agencies that the government will need to provide fuel for, their expenditure lines would shoot up. Office of Government Machinery would also shoot up. Again, ministries, departments, agencies across the country would also spend more. So the bottom line is that government would itself suffer some collateral consequence at the end of the accounting year.